How y'all doing? Now, I have not been around in a while. I haven't been doing any projects in a while. Too much real world, real life stuff going on, so I actually had to stop that to get silly, get back in the lab, and do something exciting. I'm in a couple of groups on Facebook, one of them being my own Wicked Toy Creations. Look us up, join us. And another one being Dios Structures, with one of my good friends, Bob the Odd. He's an admin. And I've seen lots of questions about people asking about styrofoam and can they use white styrofoam and how would you coat styrofoam, and I see a lot of people doing projects. I don't see a lot of people coating the projects. You don't have to coat your foam, but if you want a project that's going to last a long time, it's always better to coat it. Just because if you're going to do any, if you ever see mini gamers, mini war gamers, or any of that, their projects get touched a lot. They have figures, they have, you know, they do whole battles on their sets, and if it's not coated, it's not hardened, then your styrofoam creation that you either made or paid for is going to start getting beat up, and it's going to take a lot of damage. Now, what you see here, this plank that you see right there, it's going to be a dio. It's going to be, this bottom level right here is going to be water. This top level right here is going to be concrete. It's going to be a bridge, and there's going to be an asphalt driveway. Now, to do that, I'm going to use these regular white foam boards that I've had laying around the house for a long time. I'm not going to waste my pink foam. Pink foam is a little bit harder to get. These long white planks come 4 feet long by 2 feet wide. You get a Home Depot, they come in a pack of 5, and they're $8. They're great for what I call quick, dirty dios. You need to make something, you don't want to waste a lot of money. Now, the only problem with these is if you're not using a hot knife, they are going to bubble up. You're going to get a lot of, these are extruded beads. So what happens is, when you cut them, they do tend to leave a lot of residue. If you use a hot knife, there's a hot knife from the Hot Wire Foam Factory, this is a 6-inch knife, then you're going to burn right through it. You're not going to get that. You use a metal ruler, keeps your hand steady. The longer you do it, the more you get used to it. Now after you cut the foam, you're going to want to like glue the foam, and I see a lot of questions about that too. There's lots of ways to glue. You can go to Home Depot. They do sell foam glue. They also sell liquid nails. If you want to just do a more direct usage of glue to glue the foam boards together, you can also, Hot Wire Foam Factory has great products. One of them being Foam Fusion. Now, Foam Fusion is an EPS foam glue. This is great. It kind of bonds the two materials together. So your project will be bonded together. The only problem with this is that it takes a while to stick. So if you're like me and you're impatient, Foam Fusion might be a problem. You'd have to put it on, give it like 8 to 24 hours for the best possible bond. All right, it's permanent, it's weatherproof, bonds to most pore surfaces, solvent-free, safe and easy to clean up. Okay, goes right to the foam, and it bonds around it. Now, after you use this, you can cut it with a hot knife. A hot knife will go through Foam Fusion. It cuts right through it. It's not a problem. And you can also use a regular knife. If you're going to cut through a regular knife, an X-Acto knife. It's not the kind of thing where it doesn't allow you to go through. Now, since I don't have that kind of patience, being a New Yorker, I'm very non-patient. What I use is also from Hot Wire Foam Factory. It's called Styro Glue. Now, Styro Glue is instant. So which means the minute you connect the two surfaces, you pop something on top to hold it down, and it will dry. It will stick. Okay? So now you can use whatever you do and you can keep moving your project. It's pretty much the equivalent of using a glue gun. I also use glue guns, but sometimes I just want to use this and be done. I mean, you know, it's a matter of the project, the preference, and how much you want to get done, how quickly, and what kind of mood you're in. But I keep a lot of supplies on hand. I just like to vary sometimes. Now, also there is regular PVC glue. Alright, now this super glue can be used for a lot of things. You can also use the white glue you can also use to coat your projects. You just take it, you can mix it with sand, brush it on, give it a sandy coating, or you can take it and get a brush, brush it on top of the EPS foam, and that itself, when it dries off, you just go back and sand it, and it'll give you a nice little hardened texture. Again, it's good for school projects. It's good for something that's not going to get a lot of touching. It's not going to get a lot of usage. If you're going to do something with heavy usage, then you really need to think about plaster cloth, grout, Smooth It, Hydrocal, and other products. Because the more it's used, the more abuse it's going to take. Now, going along those lines, I have some friends that are in foreign countries, and they can't get some of the products that I'm going to show you. So,